Hello, so welcome back. We did a session one where we're setting up the tasks for user groups and departments. So let me just commit some changes here. I was looking at some. This is issue number 2. Let's see. We have employee information. Payroll system is typically contains information about employees, personal details, their hours worked, pay rate, calculated earnings, tax deductions like income tax and social security, other deductions like health, insurance premiums, or retirement contributions, and the final pay amount to be distributed via direct deposit or check. So essentially managing all aspects of employees' compensation and ensuring accurate payments while adhering to legal tax requirements. Okay. Overtime hours, vacation days, okay. Also everything related to paying staff, financial compensation, whether hourly wages or fixed salaries, bonuses or commissions. It automatically tallies and subtract payroll taxes and any other deductions. and then issue payment to each employee via direct deposit or check. Interesting. Interesting. Self-service portals to log time worked, track attendance, view pay stubs. What are these? A pay slip or a pay slip or a pay slip is a crucial document that details an employee's earning for a specific period. Payroll can issue pay slips digitally or on paper. Either way, they should include detailed information about an employee's gross salary deduction, tax deductions, and net pay after all deductions. Okay. A payslip might also detail an employee's tax information, paid leave balances, and employee's contribution to benefits like health insurance or retirement funds. Vital internal records that support transparency and accuracy in payment process. They help employees to verify pay, identify discrepancies, and address issues with payroll. Likewise, the available proof of income and employment. Workers might need to apply for visa, security, secure housing, or take out a bank loan. Pay stub is more common in the United States payroll offices and refers to the bottom section of a paycheck. In the US, a pay stub generally details the same information as separate Okay. Okay, so now with the basic knowledge of payroll system, let's get back to VS Code and see what to start on. We have a couple of issues to work on. That is the departments. User groups or the staff groups. See. Okay, I hope my screen is clear and already have our client running. Let's visit. We have our front end here. So I want to set up my front end so that you're able to log in. So in our project, currently we just have the landing page, and I'll need us to work a bit on our on whatever we will showcase to the client, that is the UI. So in here I will add some functionality here. In the utils folder, I'll add I'll add a file known as crypto.ts6. This will be a class that we'll be using for kind of wrapping around our application. So what we'll need to add, we'll have at the top here type for crypto algorithm, which will either be need to be AES hyphen so we'll just do a bit of generics in a bit. I want to set up a way for us to I personally don't like Next.js. I just write plain React. So I'm setting up kind of storage where I'll be using context API for this. So I'll only take two algorithms, AES, GCM, and also the CTR. So those will just be enough. So then I'll have a class, export class, crypto. So I won't export this actually. I'll just have it as an internal class. Plus crypto secure storage. So then in here I'll have a number of keys. So we'll have a private read-only algorithm. So this can't be read-only. Read-only means that we won't change it. So then we'll also have a read-only key path, which will be just some gibberish. KS I'll have some gibberish there. Then next I'll have export private. We'll have an IV path, which now will point to something else. SRS 4. This should have something not related to then we'll also need to have we'll have a default private read-only underscore default key prefix. So this will be very handy. I'll have it as 02. So this will be our default key prefix. So for any value that will be appending into our storage, either local storage or session storage, we'll prefix it with this. Then next we'll have our constructor, which will take in the algorithm. So this dot algorithm will set to algorithm. Then next we'll have so if we need the prefix, this should give us the default key prefix. This is our getter. Then now we'll need a way to, so what I'm trying to do at the moment is to have a way by which I can securely store data in the DOM, so that whatever we have in the DOM is not like available for everyone to see. So next here we'll have our generate key function. So private async. So this will be async generate key. So the generate key function, we will use const generated key will be await. So we'll await window.crypto.sample.generate key. So with this, we'll pass in the name of the algorithm, that is the first argument, the name of the algorithm, which is the ones that we passed in there from the top. Then I will provide the length, which is 256. So we pass the algorithm, then we say whether it is extractable. Okay. Let me just say something here. So we have generate key. Okay. Window dot so the generate key. Let's see. Let's see the what is the effect of passing calls in the extractable option in this function, and how does it impact security? The keys can only be used. By making the private key non-extractable, you prevent it from being inadvertently or maliciously exposed outside the app. This, even if the attacker gains access to the application environment, they cannot expose the private key or use it elsewhere. While the private key becomes non-extractable, the public key is typically still exportable. What you might need. So I need to store the key in the browser and reuse it for decrypting encrypted data. The private key is private key. Okay. Okay. Let's get back here. So our generated key will be this. So then we can proceed from here. So then we can get our exported key, which will be await window.crypto.subtle.export key. So we'll use JWK, then we'll get the exported key. Then now we'll base64 encode const base64. Base64 encoded key. So reason why we need to encode it to base64 is because when you stringify, we'll lose the so we'll stringify whatever is exported, we need to stringify. So afterwards, then we can set these. So we had set the key path. So we had set our key path here to point to this. So once we generate the key, we'll set it to the local storage. Next here is to generate an IV, async generate IV. So the IV here we'll also use const IV will be window.crypto.generate will generate uint8 array of length 12. Then now so we'll encode it with Let me see. So we'll just use bitoa dot string. So we need to convert this to string. So love string dot from code. Then now we'll spread our IV. Once we spread, then we can set this to our IV path. So once we've generated the IV, so we're asking what is an IV? IV in crypto. So an initialization vector is a binary vector that is used to initialize the algorithm for encrypting a plaintext block sequence. Increase security by introducing additional cryptographic variants and synchronize cryptographic equipment, then define the starting point for cryptographic process. So if you want more on the same, you can do more research. So then from here we can async get. So after generating the IV, then now we can get the IV. So for getting the IV, it's IV ID. So this so we let IV row, which will be local storage.get item from the local storage. So if we don't have IV row, then now we get we await the generation of that IV. Then now we assign the IV value. Then now we can extract the IV details. Then IV array will be new uint array dot from atob. So this can be undefined, but we've assigned values. So then atob is used for base64 decoding. So bitoa is used for encoding and atob is used for decoding. So we decode whatever we had encoded initially. Then now we so what we do here, so then for each character, here, then we return where is it? So in here we'll get so we'll have atob, so IV row, so for this IV row, for each character will pass so this can be null, So we'll reconvert this back to the initial sequence. Then now we just return the IV array. So after we get the IV, then we can now get the key. Private async get key. So then here we'll also start with the let key row or row key be local storage.get item, that is in the key path. So if we don't have, then now we generate a new key. Then now we send the row key to the value which has been set. Then now we can, from there, const key will pass whatever has been structured from whatever we had encoded. Then now we can return. So this will be any okay, so from here we'll have here decoded key. Then from this decoded key, what we'll have, we'll just need to import the key that we had. So we'll use the import key. This is the format, then the key data, the algorithm, and whether it is extractable, and with us we're busy with either for the encryption and the decryption. So this is what now we need to return, which will be a crypto key. We'll format this. So next, after now we'll process encryption. Async. So encryption will be public async encrypt. Then the data will be passing here. Let's just go sequentially. The data will be passing here must be type string. So then we'll say const key is equals to await this dot get key. Then the ID will get the IV the same way. Then we'll get we'll need to encode this data. So we'll use encoded data will be text encoder. Then we encode the data, which is a string. Then now we'll need to encrypt this. Encrypted data will be window.crypto.sample.encrypt. So we'll encrypt the name, which will be the name of the algorithm. Then we'll pass our IV. Then now we pass the encoded data. So after that, now we'll need to const base 64 version. So we'll encode it using base 64. Then now we spread the buffer of our encrypted data. Then now what we return, we'll return our IV. So IV will just be the way it is. I won't need to change anything. Okay. That is for encryption. Then for the decryption, private, public, async decrypt. So we'll when you're decrypting, we'll need the IV, which will be uint array, uint8 array. Then now we'll pass the encrypted data. So this will be, let's name it as encrypted data. So for our encrypted data, we'll get our key. So const key will be we'll get await this dot get key. So once we get our key, then we'll extract const encrypted buffer which will be uint8 array dot from a top. So we'll have our top, then we pass our encrypted data. Then for each character we get the character at 0.0. Then so const decrypted data, which will use the decrypt. We pass the algorithm, and we also pass the encrypted buffer. Then we'll need to initialize our or we can just use it directly. Const decoded data will be text decoder, then we decode. We can just return this directly. Format with prettier. So that is it for the part for encryption and decryption of our data. So this will just name it as secure crypto rename data encryption manager. Okay, so next we'll now have our constructor export class secure storage. So for this storage, what we'll be having is we'll set up our storage we'll just name it as crypto, which will be, then we'll also have our storage, which will be type of storage. We'll have our constructor, then now in here in the constructor we will not pass anything actually. So for the storage, I'll also not pass anything at the moment. We'll just have it as whatever storage I'll pass here will be local storage. This should be pointing to That will be the default value. Um, so we can leverage on this. So once we have that in place, then we'll need a way to get return this .crypto.prefix. Then from there, then if we need to set an item, then we'll need to check first if value. Okay, here I can use okay, const string string schema will be joy z dot string. So then we check if here okay, we'll just check if type of so we'll try and check if this value is a string. If it's not a string, then we need to just throw an error. So if now we have this data, we won't set it directly. So we'll get encrypted data. This will contain our data and the IV. So the IV, we need to let me see. So the IV also, yeah, we'll need to encode it. Then now if we decrypt, yeah. So when we encrypt level IV and the data, then now we'll need to set an item. So this is storage dot we need to make sure that whatever we have here, so if we need to get a key, so we need to get key, which will be a string, then we'll return the prefix plus the key. We'll just add an underscore here so that if now we now set an item, we need to this dot get key, then we stringify the encrypted data. And now now we're getting an item. So if we get an item, we'll need to do the reverse. So we get the item. If the item is null, then so for these, we'll have our data and ivy as underscore, then this will be underscore k. This will be underscore and underscore k. So next here we'll just say, then now, yeah, I needed just something simple. So underscore the ivy and underscore is the data. Then if we come back here, ivy then whatever we'll get here is underscore k, and then we'll need to await crypto.crypt, but we'll need to convert this to the initial value we had. So from there, then now removing an item. So storage.remove, then this.get key. Then now we can just create our after that, then now we can just create our const secure storage. We'll just initialize to that, then we export. We can export our secure storage. We can just export it from here. So we can just export this. Okay. So once that is in place, our storage is in place, crypto storage. Now we can utilize our provider. Yeah. So in here, what we'll need, so then we can add set so for this I'll just hold it for now. Then we can async set and an encrypted item, and just set those values. So we need to validate. So in this, okay, this won't apply because okay, now that we have that, I'll add a folder here known as context. Okay, so we'll add our context, then we'll add our auth theme context.tsx. Then we'll import our create context. So we'll export const auth theme context. So in here, we'll add type theme state, which will be it will either be light or dark or just system. So then we'll also have type auth state, which will be user, which will say any for now, then access token and refresh token, then from here we'll have is authenticated.